Hey, Rob from Order 42 here, and today we're going to be talking about Castlevania, the series, the whole series. Yeah, we're just gonna review the whole thing, not just season 4. Let's just do the whole thing. Since I haven't done any of the other seasons on this channel, I figure why not? Let's do it. So yeah, let's get into it. Based on the Japanese video game series by Konami and created by Warren Ellis, Castlevania is an adult animated series on Netflix spanning 4 seasons. The series follows Trevor Belmont, Alucard, and Sypha Belnades and their epic battles against Count Dracula and his minions. Voice actors on the series include Richard Armitage, Alejandra Reynoso, James Callis, Theo James, and Bill Nighy. I will say that first off, the voice acting is pretty amazing across the board. I mean, it's just like everybody. Richard Armitage is great. You know, he's kind of playing Trevor as sort of a, you know, like a reluctant hero, but he's kind of a prick. I mean, let's be honest. The dude isn't the nicest guy, to start off. So it's kind of cool to see that hard shell kind of get softened, throughout the series. But I think he's excellent. I mean, everybody. Alejandra Reynoso as Sypha I really enjoyed her performance. James Callis as Alucard, really good stuff. He plays it a little too he because he's supposed to be reserved, right? And he's the son of Dracula, right? Alucard, right? Dracula backwards, right? But I don't know. He's a little too understated sometimes, and again, maybe that's part of the direction. And in fact, I think that's if I had a bone to pick, no pun intended, with the voice acting, I would say that sometimes their performance of the voice actor doesn't match the animation. And to give you an example, there might be a character it's really angry, right? And throwing things, but the performance is very kind of like they're just reading the lines. So I'm not sure if that's a voice actor problem or if that's hey, we changed the animation and what's going on in the scene, after the voice actor had already recorded their dialogue. I'm not sure, but I would say that a good portion of it is really good, but the rest of it's kind of like, there's a little bit of cringe there. You also get some really fun cameo kind of characters. I guess characters that just aren't in it for the whole series, but I mean, some of them are amazing. Some of them kind of come and go. They'll show up and then they'll show up later. There's a couple of actors like that, like Graham McTavish, for example. But then you've got people like Peter Stormare. It plays a part that's, I mean, like immediately you recognize that person's voice. He's got kind of one of those voices. Jason Isaacs plays a character, and then you got Lance Reddick, who's probably most famous for Fringe, but he's done a lot of voice acting. He was actually he's also in John Wick. So anyway, it's some very good voice actors in there, and especially from the supporting cast as well. It's pretty good. Animation style, I would say that again, this is one of those things where I don't really understand some of the praise because I'll just say this. The action scenes are done really well. They're done really well. Almost to the point where it's definitely anime inspired. There's a lot of flashes, there's a lot of close-ups to zooms and all this, stuff, and it's actually really good, and the action's very cool. The problem is in a lot of I would say the slower episodes, the animation is distractingly poor. And again, that's probably due to budgetary reasons, right? You want to spend your money on the big action scenes and the quieter, kind of I guess normal scenes, expository scenes. You don't want to spend a whole lot of money on that animation, but I don't know. It's some of it is a little distracting. There, you can literally tell that there's literally like 3 frames of animation for somebody talking, especially if they're not in the foreground. If they're a little bit in the background, it's just like, and it's distracting. It's distracting to me. I will also say that there are some scale issues, like distracting scale issues, and I can't really remember the previous seasons as far as this, but in season 4 especially, there are some scenes where I don't understand the scale. Like there's a horse, and then the person looks like they're walking toward it, but they get smaller than it's really strange. It's really strange, and again, just distracting. And like I said, it may be a victim of the budget, but I would say the animation is probably, I would say, average. It over the series, because some of it is so really like amazing looking, and then some of it's really kind of not great. It kind of makes it, average out to be, well, average. For the actual story, I will say that it kind of, it's, well, I'll just say it's a little strange for it to be called Castlevania. For the fans of the games, you play those games, you kind of know the characters. There's usually a Belmont involved. There's Dracula, there's monsters and things. It's strange how they're not the focus a lot of the time. And I don't want to go too far into like spoiler territory or anything like that, but there's definitely episodes where you're like, so why, who are these people? Why are we following them? I mean, like seriously, sometimes 2-3 episodes without the Belmont, character, Trevor Belmont. So it's strange how that they do that. And I feel like what they're trying to do is they know that if they just followed Trevor Belmont, it wouldn't be much of a series. It wouldn't be much of a story. But I also am feeling this lack of, I don't know, I kind of lose interest a little bit when it's not the main storyline, if that makes sense. So it's a strange balance that they're trying to do here, and overall I think they do a pretty good job, but there are definitely I'll just say some slow episodes. I'll also say that the violence is pretty graphic, and it's actually really I mean, I kind of like it. It's very, very well done. There's some of it where it's just like it becomes tiring. It's sort of like sometimes there's action scenes that seem to be there just to be, hey, let's throw in an action scene here. It doesn't feel natural, and I kind of want to just skip it, because I'm like, let's get to the story part, because that's where, I'm a story guy. I like that stuff. I like character motivations. I like, those kinds of things. So when there's just action scene after action scene after action scene, it starts to get a little tiring. Specifically in season 4, there's a pretty big lull in the season, and you'll probably know what I'm talking about if you do watch it. There's this big lull, but when the stuff starts to really happen, I would say like around episodes 7 and 8, boy does it start, and it is awesome. If you're a fan of Castlevania, you probably already watched this show. But if you are a fan and you have not watched it, I mean, I would say just watch that first season. It's only 4 episodes, right? Give that a shot. And if that interests you, then yeah, you're in for quite a treat, I think. Because even though there are some lulls in each of the seasons, it really does pick up towards the end, and it's really it's really cool. Especially this last season, the way that it ended, I was pretty happy. So yeah, overall, I mean, me being an old time Castlevania fan, I mean, I think I'm pretty sure that I bought the first Castlevania on Nintendo NES, right? I think I bought that when it came out. So yeah, I've been a fan for a long time. So of course, when I heard about this, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And you've got the Super Nintendo, right? The Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4 is a classic. But honestly, Aria of Sorrow is my favorite Castlevania game, for those who would like to know. But I think overall, I think Castlevania fans for sure are going to like it. And I'd probably give it like a 3.25 out of 4 stars. For everyone else, like I said, I would just say start with those first 4 episodes. If it seems interesting to you and you're enjoying the first 4 episodes, then yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I would probably give it like, for everyone else, I would probably give it like a 3 out of 4 stars. So Castlevania, the series is complete, but there's supposedly more coming. Maybe. I'm down for it. I'm kind of curious what everybody thinks about it, though. Have you sat down and taken the time to watch all 4 seasons of Castlevania? What did you think of it? And if not, maybe you're interested now. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think, and we'll discuss it. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.